premium games. And as you know, on mobile, that's not a very successful business model anymore. In terms of what we do, we don't need around 120 frames a second. We're not running multiplayer. We are wary about subscription models, to be honest. Sony and Microsoft are successful in continuing to grow their audience that way. So most of my gaming's actually been on mobile. The share of our revenues decline in terms of what comes from mobile.
Hello and welcome to CNN News 18. I am Shaurya Sharma and we are at the Next World Forum where we have stumbled upon Mr. Jamie. He is the CEO of Telltale Games. I've grown up playing those games, Wolf Among Us, the Walking Dead series. A big fan really. And that straight up brings me to my first question. How's the development for the Wolf Among Us 2 coming along?
Wolf Among Us 2 is progressing really well. We're very excited about what we have. We should probably be showing a little bit more of it later, or early next year. We'll be showing a little bit more of it. We're not ready to give a launch date yet, but we're very happy with the progress that we're making.
And as far as the development cycle goes, I heard that you switched to Unreal Engine 5 in between the development. Is that true?
That is true, actually. It's one of the reasons why we've been a little bit slow. The benefits of Unreal 5 outweighed the time cost. And so you should expect to see the best looking Telltale game that you've ever seen.
So would you help us understand what are the key differences when you develop for Unreal Engine 5 compared to Unreal Engine 4?
Oh, wow. The main thing for us was really about virtual humans and the animation production pipeline. It was really important to us in terms of our being performance driven. So it really simplified those parts of it for my team. And then looking forward, we know that there'll be new hardware eventually, and Unreal 5 is designed for support for that. So we wanted to make sure that we were ready for what's coming.
From a developer's perspective, please take us through the subscription model. And now that we are seeing the prices climb up, PlayStation announced that their subscription was going up yesterday. So how do you feel as a developer? Is that something you appreciate, or how do you see it?
I mean, we are wary about subscription models, to be honest, because they have a tendency to limit upside for content creators. We are, above all else, a content creator. But we're very supportive of growing the ecosystem. So it really comes down to where consumers are going to spend their time and money. And if Sony and Microsoft are successful in continuing to grow their audience that way, then it makes sense for us.
Okay, so as a lasting remark, please tell us what are some of your favorite games?
Well, I should say Wolf Among Us 1, actually. It's one of the reasons I'm involved with Telltale. And other than that, I'll be honest and say I have not been gaming much the last 2 years because I have newborn twins at home that are a 9-month-old and an 8-year-old and a new company. So most of my gaming's actually been on mobile the last years, or with my son. So I'm playing, I'm embarrassed to say this, but I'm playing a lot of Plants vs. Zombies Battle for Neighborville because it's an age-appropriate shooter and it's my favorite genre.
It's nice that you mentioned mobile gaming. From what I've seen, Telltale has been one of the pioneers when it comes to porting games over to mobile, because when I first played The Wolf Among Us, it was on my first Android phone that I ever bought. So would you say that how would you say that porting to mobile games has helped Telltale as a company?
So mobile's challenging as a platform. As we sell premium games, and as you know, on mobile, that's not a very successful business model anymore. So we've actually seen the share of our revenues decline in terms of what comes from mobile. That said, we still want the audience to be able to access it. So I actually recently purchased a company called Flavorworks in the UK that has a technology that allows us to deliver games to mobile and maintain the graphic fidelity that we have on PlayStation, Xbox, and PC. So we are always looking for new ways to support that audience. And we'll probably experiment a little bit with business model and see if we can't change that revenue picture.